The objective of the labor inspection is to further strengthen the implementation of the visitorial and enforcement powers under the Labor Code as renumbered towards securing a higher level of compliance with labor laws and standards and ensuring continuity and sustainability of compliance at workplaces. For this purpose, the Department of Labor and Employment delegates this function to the regional offices with the issuance of a list of labor inspectors who are given the authority of conduct inspection, which covers all private establishments, including their branches and workplaces in the regions. The regional offices, through the labor inspectors, enforce labor laws and social legislation through the conduct of routine inspection, complaint inspection, and occupational safety and health investigation. Upon the discretion of the Secretary, special inspections may be conducted as may be deemed necessary. With the provision for mobile devices and gadgets, the DOLE developed an inspection management information system. An important feature of the system is data capture and transmittal from the field in real time, as an electronic checklist is filled up through the use of mobile devices and gadgets. Data are instantly available for viewing and processing to generate reports, statistics, and summons, including real-time monitoring of decent work indicators based on the country's decent work profile. The TAV, or Technical and Advisory Visit, aims to provide assistance to the micro-establishments, or establishments that have 1 to 9 employees, to be sustainable, productive, and competitive. It also aims to transition our micro-establishments to the formal economy that is profitable, while also complying with our labor laws and occupational safety and health standards. There are different ways or modalities to avail TAV. First is the online method. Establishments can enroll in the self-paced technical and advisory modules through our learning management system. For establishments that opted to go with online, they must accomplish the modules within 1 month from the time they registered. Second is on-site. The DOLE regional, field, and provincial offices conduct on-site or face-to-face orientation for the technical and advisory services, wherein micro-establishments are invited to attend. Third is hybrid setup. Establishments can enroll in on-site sessions and attend virtual meetings or webinars using various online platforms like MS Teams, Viber, Skype, Zoom, or Google Meet. The establishment report system was created to streamline the documents and reports required from establishments in the private sector. Several administrative requirements will be submitted through this site as a central platform. Through this system, employers no longer need to physically submit establishment reports to DOLE, since reportorial requirements can be completed remotely through the ERS. There are various types of report that can be submitted through the establishment report system. These are telecommuting report, job displacement report, flexible work, 13th month report, and employer's work accident or illness report. The establishment report system ensured the safety of employees of DOLE and its clients by minimizing the risk of contracting the COVID-19, since the need for physical contact has been removed in this process.
Isang pagbati po ng ligtas at malusog na hapon sa atin pong lahat, sa atin pong mga kapatid, kapuso, kapamilya, kaibigan, katropa, kakampi, katrabaho, kausap, kasama at kapartner. Maraming salamat po sa patuloy niyo pong pagsubaybay sa atin pong Webinar Wednesday. Tayo po ay nasa episode 15 na po at ang atin pong topic po ngayon ay may pamagat na Driving Cultural Change, Creating an HIV-Safe Workplace. Ayan. So tayo po ay mapalad po ngayon na tayo po ay sinamahan po ng atin pong expert po sa larangang ito. Pero bago ko po siya ipakilala, ay tayo po muna ay magpasimula sa isang panalangin.
Bow our head and put ourselves in the holiness of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dear Almighty and ever-loving God, we glorify and thank your name. You have showered us with so much blessings, and your presence continuously remind us of your faithfulness and guidance. May we humbly ask you to shower our speaker today of your greatest inspiration, so that he may share the most of his knowledge, his field of expertise, and to his respective topics. May we also absorb the invaluable knowledge, experiences, and put it into practice that we may learn today. Your infinite blessing would mean the success of this webinar. May we be a living witnesses of your genuine love through the enactment of the knowledge acquired through this activity. We ask this in the name of your Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Okay. So, amen po, no? So, maganda po magpasimula po, no, ng kahit anong gawain sa pamamagitan po ng isang panalangin. Atin pong nasaksihan kanina ang ating pong preliminaries na kung saan po ay inintroduce po namin sa inyo ang mga ilang programa ng DOLE, Bureau of Working Conditions, at ito po ay sinundan ng isang maikling panalangin. Bago po natin ipakilala ang atin pong tagapagsalita, ay nais ko po muna sa inyong magbahagi ng magbahagi sa inyo ng ilang mga key facts about HIV. Una po, HIV remains a major public health issue globally and in our country. Ikalawa po, AIDS deaths have dropped but the number of new HIV infections hasn't. Ikatlo, there is no cure for HIV infection. However, with access to effective HIV prevention, diagnosis, treatment, and care, HIV infection has become a manageable chronic death condition, enabling people living with HIV to lead long and healthy lives. Ikaapat, most workers have no risk of becoming infected with HIV in the workplace because HIV is not spread by casual contact. At ikalima, the workplace is an ideal place to implement health programs. At of course, ito po yung backdrop natin kung bakit po natin naisip na magkaroon po ng ganitong topic ngayong araw na ito ng Miyerkules. And we are so blessed today that we have an expert as our resource person. Ibabahagi po niya sa atin on how we can create an HIV-safe workplace. Actually, he is one of our partners in safety and health, specifically on workplace HIV/AIDS. So please allow me to introduce our speaker this afternoon. Okay, siya po si Sir Iko Rodolfo Johnson. Si Sir Iko Rodolfo Johnson po ay presidente po at CEO ng Project Red Ribbon Care Management Foundation Incorporated. Ito po ay leading HIV organization in the Philippines. Okay? He is being passionate on HIV as HIV advocate. He continues to address the growing issue of HIV in the Philippines by partnering with the Department of Health, the Philippine National AIDS Council, the World Health Organization, the Joint United Program on HIV and AIDS, government agencies, katulad po ng DOLE, and the private sector. Since 2011, he was able to craft innovative HIV programs for children, youth, learning institutions, the workplace, and the elderly. He is a graduate of BS Occupational Therapy and Physical Therapy from the University of the Philippines. And he was able to craft innovative HIV programs for awareness, prevention, testing, treatment, care, and support to improve the quality of life of people living with HIV and to save lives. Okay, so without much further ado, Sir Iko, you may have the floor now. At of course, welcome po sa atin pong webinar Wednesday. Thank you po.
Thank you. Thank you, Sir Marco. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Thank you for inviting me, and on behalf of Project Red Ribbon and My Hub Cares, our facility, maraming salamat. At ngayong hapon po ay i-deliver po namin ang mensahe ng community, ng mga advocates at mga taong may HIV para maisakatuparan po natin ang prevention, ang ating mga programs for awareness and testing, at mapaganda po natin at maging safe ang ating workplace. So ito po ang ating topic. And again, thank you Department of Labor and Employment, DWC, for inviting me. So allow me to share my deck. Okay, so I hope you can see this. Nakikita po ba ninyo?
Yes, sir. Kita po.
Okay, so this is driving cultural change. Bakit cultural change? Kasi kailangan baguhin na natin ang ating perspective at baguhin na natin ang ating pananaw at mapaayos natin na kung saan mabe-break natin ang stigma and discrimination sa ating workplace, because by doing so, we can create an HIV-safe workplace. Pero kailangan natin pag-usapan kung ano nangyayari sa workplaces. And pangalawa, kailangan natin maintindihan kung ano nga ba yung HIV and AIDS, na kung saan si Sir Marco ay nagbigay na ng mga briefers, paunang information about HIV and AIDS at paano natin gagawin ito. Kasi ito yung pinakamahirap eh. Magbibigay nga tayo ng information pero hindi natin alam kung paano tayo magsisimula. Now, here we are at nandito po ang Project Red Ribbon para simulan natin yung proseso ng pag-understand at malaman natin kung ano yung mga paraan at hakbang para maisakatuparan natin na ang ating workplace ay maging safe. So ganito po yan. Bigyan natin ng konting storya. So kung ang isang taong may HIV ay nagkaroon siya ng HIV and AIDS, ano mangyayari sa kanya? So the employee might feel sick, may sakit, ill, or disabled. Kasi ibang AIDS-related infections are disabling. Or kung siya ay may AIDS na, pwedeng disabling yung condition niya. Pangalawa, ito yung psychosocial effect naman ng HIV. Of course, the person, because knowing that the HIV is incurable, wala pa tayong cure, maaaring ma-depress siya. So of course, it will affect his work. Pwede ring suicidal because there's a strong stigma and discrimination attached with HIV. Baka ma-discriminate siya, baka ma-terminate siya sa work. Of course, the person might get angry because of course, of all people, bakit siya? And then worried. Worried dahil ano mangyayari? Because if the person doesn't know anything about HIV and AIDS, of course, yung unknown, fear of the unknown will trigger worrying and of course being scared. And kung wala siyang alam about HIV and AIDS, baka isipin niya napakamahal at makikita ninyo mamaya sa pagpapaliwanag ko, karamihan ng ating services ng government ay libre lang para maibigay sa inyo at sa ating lahat. And of course, if the person has HIV, he or she can't focus at work. Paano nga ba yun? Anong mangyayari sa akin? Makukuha ko pa ba ang aking mga pangarap pag ako ay nagkaroon ng HIV and AIDS? But at the end of the day, the reason why DOLE is here, and that's the reason why DOLE has policies and guidelines on HIV and AIDS, because we want to save lives. Bottom line, kailangan magsalba tayo ng buhay, wala dapat mamatay because of HIV and AIDS, and for us to have a healthy workplace na kung saan lahat ay healthy. So yun ang pinakamaganda because a healthy workplace ay kauunlad ng ating mga kumpanya at ating pamayanan. wherein nobody will resign anymore. Kasi marami, pag nagkaroon ng HIV, natatakot ma-discriminate, matakot ma-terminate, marami namamatay, and eventually hindi nagpapagamot at pwedeng mag-resign. So ayaw natin noon maging healthy but not as healthy as this. But what I'm saying is dapat maging healthy lahat and nobody has to die. It's already 2023 at makikita nyo ang dami na nating serbisyo na pwede ibigay sa ating mga empleyado, so dapat wala nang mamamatay sa HIV and AIDS. Now, HIV in the workplace, kagaya ng sinabi ko, may physical and psychosocial issue. Physical, dahil ito ay sakit, pwedeng physically unhealthy siya, pwede siya magka-pneumonia, magka-tuberculosis, magkaroon ng iba't ibang sakit na kung saan hindi siya pwedeng makapagtrabaho. Psychosocial, ito yung meron siyang depression. So, sa HIV and mental health are also should be addressed simultaneously because syempre pag ikaw ay may sakit, lalo na yung may stigma and discrimination, so malaking impact yon sa iyong well-being. And work-related issues because pag ikaw wala ka alam about HIV and AIDS, ano kaya ang pwedeng mangyari sa akin? Mate-terminate ba ako? Para pag na-chismis ako, ano yung mga karapatan ko? And of course, if you don't know anything about HIV and AIDS, siyempre, alam nyo, matatakot kayo kasi anong mangyayari kung wala akong pera? Diba? So, paano yung gastusin sa ospital? Anong mangyayari? And this will all lead to attrition. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga na-hire pwedeng mawala o kaya ma-terminate kasi nga may sakit, di ba? Increase medical cost kasi hindi naman niya alam kung saan siya mag-a-access, so maaring kumain sa kanyang kaban, no? Yung parang it will eat up his or her own finances kung hindi niya alam kung saan siya mag-a-access. And of course, dahil sa takot, pwede niya yung ikamatay. It could lead to death. But at the end of the day, we want a healthy workplace wherein we can build trust. The organizations can build trust na itong organization or companies natin ay pwede kayo magtiwala na hindi kayo madidiscriminate, kayo ay safe dito. Grow productivity. If everybody is healthy, then we can increase our productivity and of course, improve retention. Pag tayo ay alam natin ang HIV and AIDS, ang mga polisiya, ang mga services, of course, wala na matatakot, wala na magre-resign because at the end of the day, we want a welcoming workplace wherein we can decrease the stigma and discrimination attached with HIV and AIDS, as well as acknowledge the sexual diversity and social inclusivity of people living with HIV. Yan ang magandang senaryo na kailangan nating buuhin sa ating workplace. At nagpapasalamat ako once again dahil ang DOLE ay nagbigay ng opportunity para maibahagi natin ito. Pero paano nga ba natin gagawin in the first place? Let's start from the beginning. Ano ba yung situation sa Philippines? Ang situation natin sa Philippines ay ito. This is based from the Department of Health Epidemiology Bureau. This is the latest report coming from the DOH-EB, wherein you can see 49 cases as of 2023. They usually average it among the months. As compared to 2013, 13 lang. Now, you would ask me, so Iko, ang ibig po sabihin niya ng konti-konti lang as compared to COVID. The reason why is because takot pa rin magpa-test ang ating mga kababayan because of the stigma and discrimination, lalo na sa workplace. And as you can see from the graph, you could see that it's still increasing. But according to the report, if you would read it, 97% belong to the working age group. That's the reason why the Department of Health in 2016 already talked to Project Red Ribbon to reach out to corporate organizations and companies to establish workplace programs. Kailangan natin kayo. Kasi karamihan na nadadiagnose ay nagtatrabaho. Kasi ngayon po ay 15 years old ay natetest na natin without consent. At yung 24 to 34, ito po yung pinakamataas na age group na kung saan mayroong HIV. Now, also understanding HIV ay kailangan nating malaman na ang modes of HIV transmission, this is coming from the same report, makikita nyo dun sa first figure, eto ni-rank ko lang, eto po yung modes of HIV transmission. When we talk about HIV and AIDS, kailangan natin maintindihan that we're gonna talk about sex and sexual behavior. That's why ang hirap pag-usapan lalo na sa companies kasi minsan tabu pa pag-usapan ng sex, pero pataas ang kaso natin, so we should not turn a blind eye pag-usapan na natin. The best way to become aware is to normalize the conversation because the number one mode of HIV transmission is sexual contact, direct to the point, unprotected sex, direct to the point, hindi paggamit ng condom sa pakikipagtalik. And under sexual contact, you would see males having sex with males. Ito po ay lalaki nakikipagtalik sa kapwa lalaki at hindi ito homosexuals. Hindi sila po ay just yung parang bading lang. Kasi ngayon po, ang pinag-uusapan natin dito sa sexual contact ay behavior. Would you believe na even yung mga tour guides in tourist spots, nakikipagtalik na sa same sex, no? Yung mga tour guides natin because of money. Meron din tayong mga masahista na kung saan nag-o-offer ng massage pero nag-o-offer din ng sex. Ito napapanood nyo sa TV and sa movies, yung mga in prisons, no? Individuals in prisons or nakikipagtalik sila sa inmates. They're straight pero meron silang homosexual behavior. So what's important here is we cannot typecast 2023 na po, we cannot typecast HIV and stereotype HIV and AIDS with homosexuality. Kasi ngayon maraming bukas ang isipan nila na on homosexual behaviors. Letter B is sex with males and females. These are bisexual behavior. So would you believe even 17-year-old females in a university belt, nakikipagtalik na sila sa kapwa babae or kapwa lalaki and the opposite sex because they're more exploring. Iyan na po ang kabataan. So we have to open our minds. And male to female sex, ito po yung heterosexual behavior. Now what's important here is the first recommendation of the Department of Health. If you are practicing unprotected sex, please recommend HIV testing. Ang kinagandahan po ng ating mga workplaces, lalo na dun sa mga malalaking kumpanya o kaya yung medium-sized companies, meron na po silang mga clinics. So isang magandang programa ay makapag-identify na ang ating mga nurses and doctors na kung ang ating mga employees ay o may nagsabi sa kanila na sila ay sexually active, please recommend HIV testing. You may be able to save your life and the life of your partner. Number 2 is sharing of infected needles. So this is predominant among people who inject drugs. Yung mga nag-i-inject ng drugs natin. Pero ngayon po, iba na naman ang panahon natin kasi nagagamit na rin ang drugs sa pakikipagtalik. Ito po yung chemsex. Pero ang pinaka-importante po dito is kung may kakilala kayo na employee o yung ating nurses and doctors may umamin sa kanila na sila ay nagtuturok ng pinagbabawal na gamot, please recommend HIV test. You may be able to save your life and the life of your partner. At yung last, ito po yung pinaka-painful of all, mother-to-child transmission. Alam nyo, napakahalaga na maintindihan ito ng ating mga audience ngayon and participants kasi pataas ng pataas yung mother-to-child transmission. Project Red Ribbon has more than 150 children living with HIV under our care, under Duyan program. Paano napapasa ng mother sa kanyang child at paano niya nalalaman? Usually through the child. Yung child po niya ay mahina na yung resistensya tapos meron na po siyang mga infections or opportunistic infections. Then upon probing ng doctor, sakalang magbibigay ng HIV test and ite-test si mother. Like what I mentioned, meron kaming more than 150 children living with HIV at sila po usually namatay na yung mga parents, yung mga mothers kasi late diagnosed. So saan nakuha ni mother yung HIV? Nakuha niya sa asawa niya or sa another partner. So what's important here is the third recommendation of the Department of Health. Kung kayo po ay buntis at kung may kakilala kayo na buntis sa ating kumpanya o kaya kayo may nakikinig na doctor or nurse dito, kung meron pong pregnant na lumapit sa inyo, please recommend HIV testing. You may be able to save your life and the life of your partner. So napaka-importante po yan. Babalikan ko po yan later on. So understanding HIV and AIDS, two terminologies. Baka hindi po natin naiintindihan. Better na i-discuss natin briefly. HIV means human immunodeficiency virus. HIV, human, tao, immune system, resistensya. Deficiency, kahinaan, kakulangan, and virus, it's a living organism passed from one organism to another that can wreak havoc to oneself as compared, so eto yung virus. Yung AIDS is the acquired immune deficiency virus. Acquired meaning nakuha natin, maaring bago tayo nagkaroon ng weakened immune system, or nakuha natin after na humina ang ating resistensya. Immune system or resistensya. Deficiency, kahinaan, kakulangan, and syndrome, it's already a condition wherein because of the weakened immune system, you can be infected by any other infection, including the deadly ones. So napaka-importante yan kasi pag hindi natin na-address kagad, hindi na-identify, maaring dun sa malalaking kumpanya, maaring mag-drive up ng cost ng healthcare benefits nila. So napaka-importante ma-identify. HIV doesn't mean that you have AIDS, but AIDS means you have HIV. Hindi sila pareho. Ang HIV is the virus, AIDS is the condition, and AIDS, ang ibig sabihin naman yan, siya ay may HIV. Beginnings of HIV, sabi nila nakuha sa unggoy sa Africa kasi may simian immunodeficiency virus. So how did humans get HIV? Hindi natin alam. Baka nakipagtalik, nakipagtalik sa unggoy, kinain yung raw meat and drank the raw blood. What's important is that it mutated to the human immunodeficiency virus. Now, kailangan natin pag-usapan, pag pumasok sa katawan natin ang virus, ang tinatamaan niya ay yung CD4 cells. CD4 cells, I don't want it to be too medical. Ito po yung cells, part ng immune system. Kaya nga dito, pag sinabi natin CD4, sabihin na lang natin na ito yung strength of defense natin or immune system. While viral load is the amount of virus. Ito po yung number of attackers as you can see from the figure. But what's important is look at the viral load, ha? Babalikan ko po yan. Viral load, dami ng HIV sa katawan. Ulitin ko, ang HIV ay specific lang sa CD4 cells. Phases of HIV progression, pag ikaw ay nahawahan ng HIV, magkakaroon ka ng 2 to 4 weeks flu-like symptoms, highly contagious, high amount of virus. Problema natin, kita niyo naman yung panahon, ulan, araw, di ba? Ang daming inuubo, ang daming sinisipon. Tapos ikaw, nagkaroon ka ng risky behavior. Uminom ka ng paracetamol, bio-flu. Okay, and then nawala. Ay, wala lang pala, flu lang. But that's a typical signs and symptoms of flu. Okay, viral infection. Tapos hindi ka pa rin nagpa-test, even though you know that you had the risky behavior. Pag hindi ka nagpa-test, you'll progress to the second phase wherein no symptoms, wala ka na mararamdaman, and HIV is still active but reproduces at very low levels, can last for decades or can be faster. Viral load goes up, CD4 goes down. Ito yung tinatawag nating clinical latency or HIV inactivity or dormancy. Walang symptoms. Para alam nyo yon, thief in the night, yung magdanakaw, dahan-dahan siyang lumalapit, kumukuha ng hindi mo alam. Ganon din ang HIV. Then, hindi ka pa rin nagpa-test. Then, eventually, you'll progress to the AIDS phase wherein magkakaroon ka na ng opportunistic infections. Ito yung infections that take the opportunity. Pag mahina ka, lalabas yun, yung mga infections, or matatamaan ka ng mga deadly infections. And without a treatment can survive for 3 years. 8 stage if CD4 count is 200 cells per millimeter. High viral load, highly contagious. So ang pinaka-importante dito, kaya pinapakita ko sa inyo, HIV has no symptoms at all. So flu-like symptoms lang, typical of any viral infection. And yung last stage ay signs and symptoms ng opportunistic infection. Example, tuberculosis is the #1 opportunistic infection. That's the reason why meron tayong TB-HIV program. Kung ikaw ay may TB, kailangan ka magpa-HIV test. At kung ikaw ay may HIV, kailangan ka magpa-TB test. Yon ang makikita mong signs and symptoms. Pneumonia. So ang makikita mo ay signs and symptoms of pneumonia, not HIV per se. So napaka-importante, malinaw, ito ang walang signs and symptoms ang HIV. Now, understanding HIV and AIDS, ito na po ang approach ng ating health program. So meron tayong biomedical, ito yung interventions natin, clinical and medical method, ito yung paggamit ng condoms and lubricants. Alam na natin yan, marami na yan, yung prevention, pero lagyan natin, buksan natin ang ating isipan kasi karamihan pa rin, pag sinabing condoms ay para sa contraception. Pero that's the best way to protect. So gawin nating preventive measure and health method to prevent HIV. HIV testing is also another one. Antiretroviral treatment, papaliwanag ko mamaya yan. Ito po yung gamutan sa HIV. Napakaganda kasi isa na rin itong way to prevent yung paglaganap ng HIV. Prevention of vertical transmission. Ito po yung mother to child. So napaka-importante pag ikaw ay buntis or may kakilala kayong buntis, kailangan nating ipatest kaagad. And PrEP and PEP, papaliwanag ko din mamaya. Ito po yung mga gamot laban sa paglaganap ng HIV or pagpasok or mag-transmission ng HIV sa ating katawan, and voluntary male circumcision. Okay? And needles and syringe program. Ito po ay para naman sa ating mga taong gumagamit ng drugs. Structural interventions that promote an enabling environment. So napaka-importante yung decriminalization of transmission of key population, gender and gender violence approach, laws to protect rights, karapatan, at saka interventions to reduce stigma and discrimination. Napakagandang usapin kasi yung ating labor advisory na nilabas noong September lang, nandito na po yan nakasaloob. So napaka-importanting malaman natin ang mga guidelines ng Department of Labor and Employment kasi ito po ay isang halimbawa ng structural approach para ma-prevent yung HIV. And of course, behavioral. Ngayon ay month for mental health. Yun po ang nasabi sa akin, pero ito yung napaka-importante, yung mga interventions natin to promote healthy behaviors. Kaya nga napaka-importante yung counseling sa testing, to prevent the spread of the infection, and risky behavior and risk reduction, comprehensive sex education, especially sa ating mga learning institutions, peer education programs sa ating mga communities, key affected populations, and social marketing strategies to promote condom use, promote different preventive measures. Now, how do we diagnose HIV? Only the HIV test can diagnose. Alam nyo, marami nagsasabi, lalo na sa mga corporate organizations and mga companies na nakakasalamuhan ng Project Red Ribbon. Naku, ang unang-unang tanong, pag nag-donate pa ng dugo, malalaman na may HIV ako. Forced ba ako ng company na magpa-HIV test? Hindi. So, napaka-importante maintindihan natin about HIV test because only the HIV test can diagnose HIV. So, ibig sabihin, yung pag-donate nyo ng dugo, hindi makikita yon kasi hindi naman siya HIV test. Pero, tinetest din ang ating mga donated blood because all the other infections are getting tested as well. So only the HIV test can diagnose. Now, pag kayo ay naging reactive sa HIV test, ang dugo ninyo ay papadala for confirmatory. Ito po ay ginagawa sa San Lazaro Hospital. Kaya lang it will take time. Usually 2 weeks, pero kung nasa province kayo, sometimes a week and a half. Kaya ang ginawa po ng Department of Health natin ay nagkaroon na sa different facilities ng RIVDA or the Rapid HIV and AIDS Diagnostic Algorithm wherein 3 tests ang binibigay. Pag nag-reactive po kayo doon, kayo po ay confirmed because it's necessary for treatment. Hindi po kayo pwedeng bigyan ng gamot kung kayo ay hindi confirmed na HIV positive. Now, ang pinakamaganda dito, meron na tayong innovations. Napakaganda nito, yung HIV testing natin. Dati, palaging HIV test, which is the actual blood extraction conducted by an HIV proficient medical technologist, and usually it's facility-based, nasa HIV testing center. And it requires a lot of equipments. So, matagal ang proseso. Now, in 2016, because the Department of Health don't just want it facility-based, nagkaroon na tayo ng community-based testing. Ito po yung HIV screening. Ang HIV screening, it uses only rapid HIV test kits, can be conducted by any medical profession or any lay person as long as they're 18 years old. 15 minutes lang po ang result. And it can be done anywhere. Kaya nga community-based screening. Ang Project Red Ribbon po ngayon ay nagtuturo na, dinadala na namin ang HIV screening test kits sa mga companies because we consider companies as communities. Ito po ay libre lang. Kami po ay nagtuturo sa doctors and nurses at pinapadala na po namin ng HIV screening test. Point of care na po dapat yung approach natin kasi dapat provider initiated. Pag nakita ninyo po ang inyong mga employees na may risky behavior or risky for HIV, dapat tinetest na kaagad. And HIV self-test, self-explanatory, self-test. You test yourself. So ibig sabihin, ito po ay pareho lang siya ng HIV screening pero pwede na pong ipadala sa inyo. Kukontakin nyo lang po ang isang organization or the same way, ang Project Red Ribbon ay pwede pong magturo sa inyong nurses and doctors sa inyong clinics tapos ipapadala na po namin yung self-test. Kagaya ng binanggit ko kanina, number 1, ito po yung mga recommendation ng Department of Health for testing, practicing unprotected sex. Number 2, sexually transmitted infection. Kasi po, pareho lang po ng route. Ang HIV po ay isang sexually transmitted infection. Kagaya ng pinakita ko sa inyo, coming from the Department of Health, yung sexual contact. Kaya kung ang inyong mga employees, kung sa clinic may pumunta po at sila po ay may sexually transmitted infections, napaka-importante magpa-test po sila. Number 3, person who inject drugs. And number 4, pregnant. Nabanggit ko po sa inyo yan. And yung last, yung tuberculosis. Ito po ay malalaman lalo na sa ating mga kumpanya, lalo na kung may APE or yung regular monitoring of our clients. So napaka-importante po sa pagbigay ng mga services. Ang kinagandahan po niyan, lahat po ito ay libre galing sa ating Department of Health. So we want everybody listening to reach out to us. Kung gusto nyo pong magkaroon ng magandang programa, hindi lang just awareness, but directly helping our employees, sana po ay you can reach out at magkaroon ng referral network or dalhin po natin yung mga serbisyong ito sa inyong company. Now, understanding HIV and AIDS, kailangan po natin maintindihan ito, yung window period. Ito po yung time of the exposure to get an accurate result. Usually po kasi pag nagpa-test, pag yung risky behavior mo is wala pang 3 months, ang lalabas po dyan ay non-reactive because the window period is usually 6 weeks to 3 months. Kaya pag nagpa-test po tayo, napaka-importante na kailangan bumalik para magkaroon ng retest. So napaka-importante din na kailangan may access tayo sa mga facilities na kung saan nagbibigay ng testing. Now, kung ang testing ay nasa inyong company na at maibibigay naman even ang Project Red Ribbon sa inyo at matetrain ang doctors and nurses ninyo sa pagbibigay ng services, nandun na po ang testing. Yan ang pinakamaganda. HIV antibodies, ito po yung nade-detect ng ating HIV test. Gawin nating simple, no? Assume natin nakakita kayo ng magnanakaw, carnapper. Anong gagawin nyo? Tatawag kayo ng police and the police apprehends. Ganyan din ang ating katawan. Pag pumasok ang HIV sa ating katawan, magproproduce po ang katawan natin ng HIV antibodies. These are components of the white blood cells that counter the effect and the spread of HIV in our body. So parang pulis lang yan. So pag meron tayo HIV antibodies, maraming pulis sa katawan natin, ay ibig sabihin may HIV tayo. Ito po ang nade-detect ng HIV test, HIV screening, and self-testing. Okay? Now, myths and misconceptions, hindi po natatransmit ang HIV sa pakikipag-usap. Okay? Kasi 4 lang po ang fluids na meron ang maaari magkaroon ng HIV. Number 1 is blood, dugo. Number 2 is vaginal fluid. Number 3 is semen. Number 4 is breast milk. Kaya napaka-importante po yung pregnant women. Kaya meron na tayo sa mga LGUs ng Buntis Congress. Pero alam ko sa mga empleyado ninyo, sa inyo mga co-workers, mga colleagues nyo, meron kayong buntis na kaibigan. kasama sa trabaho, or kung nandito ang ating mga nurses and doctors, pag meron kayo nakitang buntis, recommend nyo na po agad ang testing. O tanong ninyo, ang OB nyo ba ay nag-recommend ng testing? Because that's the best way to prevent yung mother-to-child transmission. So balik tayo sa talking, wala namang HIV ang laway, so you can talk to somebody with HIV. Same thing, kissing and embracing. Sa pakikipaghalikan, wala naman sa laway, so you can kiss somebody with HIV. Embracing, skin to skin, wala naman, hindi naman pwedeng mahawahan. Kaya gaya sinabi ni Sir Marlon, no? It's safe in the workplace. Kailangan lang natin maintindihan kung paano natatransmit and to break the myths and misconceptions. Mosquito bite. So may lumabas na dugo pero pumunta naman sa insekto, maaring different yung temperature, different pH, different condition, patay yung HIV. So don't worry about insect mosquito bites. Sharing utensils, wala naman sa laway, so you can share utensils with somebody with HIV. Swimming, ano ba lumalabas na fluid, wee-wee o kaya sweat, wala namang HIV. So you can swim with somebody with HIV. As well as sharing of toilet seats. Ito yung pinangangambahan ng marami. Paano yan? Pag may HIV daw, pag sa toilet, baka mahawahan. Hindi. Because kagaya ng sinabi ko, yung pee, okay? Yung urine, wala namang HIV yon. Again, ulitin ko, ang may HIV na fluids ay blood, vaginal fluid, semen, at saka breast milk. Yun lamang. Kaya huwag tayong matakot about HIV. And we should be informed. Ano ba yung mga dapat nating sasabihin? Ano ba yung dapat nating pag-usapan? Because everything na mali will add to the stigma and discrimination. Now, ito po ang preventive measures coming from the Department of Health. Abstinence. Huwag muna. Okay? Pero napakahirap ituro, lalo na sa adult, ang sex behaviors. Ito po ay directed sa mga youth. So kung meron tayong mga kapatid na bata or anak na bata, pag-usapan na natin ang sex and HIV. Bago nila pag-usapan ito or late na nila pag-usapan at nag-unprotected sex na sila o nakipagtalik na sila sa hindi paggamit ng mga preventive measures. Be mutually faithful, letter B. Faithful ka nga pero hindi naman faithful si partner mo. So kailangan pag-usapan natin ito kasi that opens a door to transmission. Letter C, consistent and correct use of condoms. Again, ang condom use natin is not for promiscuity. We are not promoting promiscuity o pakikipagtalik sa kahit sino, sa marami, or contraception. We are using condoms to prevent HIV. And that's the best way. Buksan na natin yung isipan. Mataas ang kaso ng HIV sa Pilipinas. Let's protect others by using preventive measures. So kailangan consistent and correct use of condoms. Kung hindi po tayo marunong, pwede tayo lumapat sa ating clinic, sa ating doctors, at sila po ay pwede magturo sa inyo. Letter D, don't use drugs. Pinaliwanag ko po sa inyo yung injecting drug use, but also don't use drugs together with alcohol because everything, if you're under the influence, you'll be of drugs and alcohol. Lahat ng nasabi ko pa, pwede nyo makalimutan. And letter E, 3 is education. Nabanggit ko yung testing, kailangan early testing. Kung kayo ay sexually active, dapat regular every 3 months, every 6 months. And early treatment, napaka-importante. Kung kayo ay na-diagnose na may HIV, pumunta na po kayo sa nearest treatment facility. Ito po ay sa mga hospitals at ito po ay nasa mga social hygiene clinics ng ating mga cities. Iyan po ay nabanggit sa labor advisory ng Department of Labor and Employment na kailangan magkaroon tayo ng referral mechanism sa ating mga kumpanya towards that different treatment facilities. Nakita nyo rin po dito, ito yung PrEP and PEP. Meron na rin po tayo niyan. Libre lang galing sa Department of Health ang PrEP. Ang PrEP stands for Pre-Exposure Prophylaxis. Ito po ay preventive drugs. Again, libre lang. Libre ang condoms and lubricants, libre ang test, libre ang PrEP. what else? What more can you ask for? Ang PrEP ay iniinom, pwede po itong per event o kung kailan lang kayo makikipagtalik or daily. So pwede po kayong lumapit sa ating mga facilities or dun sa clinic po namin, yung My Hub Cares, para makapag-avail nito. Pero pwede rin po kami mag-train ng doctors and nurse ninyo sa inyong clinic, company clinic, kung gusto niyo ng PrEP. Ito po ay galing sa Department of Health. Pag nabigyan ng training ang ating doctors and nurses, sila na po ang pwedeng mag-prescribe and mag-dispense ng PrEP. So manggagaling po sa amin ang PrEP at ipapadala na lang po sa inyo para may access. Again, what more can you ask for? Libre na ang testing, libre na ang condoms and lubricants, libre pa ang PrEP. Ang PEP naman stands for post-exposure. Kung kayo ay na-expose, within 72 hours, kailangan po ay maka-avail kayo ng gamot na ito. Ito po ay makakakuha po kayo sa mga treatment facilities. Unfortunately, hindi po yan libre. So again, 72 hours post-exposure, kailangan makainom po kayo ng gamot na yan to prevent HIV. Now, understanding HIV and AIDS. Tapos tayo sa prevention, tapos tayo sa awareness, punta tayo sa gamutan. Ang gamutan ay we have the antiretroviral therapy. Ang antiretroviral therapy natin, ngayon po ay wala pa po tayong cure, but HIV can be managed because libre lang po ang gamot sa HIV galing sa Department of Health. So ano yung purpose ito? To suppress and stops the progression to AIDS. What more can you ask for? Libre ang test, libre condoms and lubricants, libre ang PrEP, libre pa yung gamot. Okay? And antiretroviral medicines are lifetime medicines kasi wala pa tayong cure. Napaka-importante niyan, libre lang yan sa lahat ng treatment and primary care facilities nationwide. So again, libre lang po. Kaya huwag kayong matakot. Ang daming natatakot, ayaw magpa-test kasi bahal daw yung gamutan. Pinapakita ko sa inyo, libre po yan. Now, people living with HIV, this is the politically correct term. Tao muna bago HIV at hindi po AIDS victims. Tamain na natin, i-address and normalize the conversation about HIV and AIDS. Understanding HIV and AIDS. Ito po ang pinaka-importanting message na pwede ko i-deliver sa inyo. U equals U. Anong ibig sabihin nito? So the World Health Organization had endorsed this and our Department of Health is now promoting it. U equals U means undetectable viral load means untransmissible HIV. Napaliwanag ko kanina yung viral load at sinabi ko sa inyo, tandaan nyo yon. Ito po yung amount of virus. Kwentuhan ko lang kayo. Kung kayo ay umiinom ng gamot na libre galing sa Department of Health, yung antiretroviral medicines, kung kayo ay umiinom ng gamot regularly and adherently, yung virus nyo, yung amount ng virus nyo, bababa ng bababa up to the point na parang hindi na siya ma-detect. Nandun pa siya pero undetectable na siya. Pag umabot kayo, kung kayo ay taong may HIV at umabot kayo sa undetectable viral load, hindi na po kayo makakahawa. So napaka-importante nito kasi dati ang HIV test, pag nagpa-test ka, para malaman mo yung status mo, para uminom ka ng gamot kung positive ka. If you're negative, stay negative for life. If you're positive, just take the free antiretroviral medicines and mabubuhay ka na ng healthy. Pero ngayon, ito na po yung advancement natin. Pag ikaw ay undetectable na, hindi ka na makakahawa. Napaka-importante po ito. That's the reason why ang pregnant women, pregnant mothers, kung siya ay magpa-test during the first trimester, usually, ang viral load, bumabagsak yan, magiging undetectable yan within 6 months. Imagine, sa first trimester, nagpa-test si mother, nag-positive siya, uminom siya ng gamot, pag luwal niya sa kanyang baby, hindi na mahahawahan si baby. Ganon din po tayo. Kung ang isang taong may HIV ay uminom kaagad, nagpa-test kaagad, uminom kaagad, bababa yung viral load niya, he will be as healthy as anybody else. HIV will stop with him because treatment now is prevention. Napakaganda, di ba? Napakaganda ng kwento ng HIV. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, ang prevention natin ay hindi lang condoms and lubricants, hindi lang PrEP, okay, or hindi lang PEP. Ngayon ay meron na, hindi lang awareness, hindi lang testing, kung hindi, even yung treatment, anybody can live a normal, healthy life. You can have your own family if you are on antiretroviral medicines. And of course, you won't be able to spread HIV anymore. So that is the best way to stop HIV. Preventive on the negative side and preventive on the HIV positive side. So napaka-importante ng pagkakaroon ng HIV program in the workplace. Okay? But ito ang problema natin, HIV-related stigma. Stigma, pinakita ko sa inyo, no, dapat walang katakutan. Pero may takot pa rin because of the stigma. Unfavorable attitudes, beliefs, and policies. Ang ibig sabihin ng stigma. Example, dahil wala tayong alam sa HIV, lahat ng homosexual, parang gano'n, lahat ng payat, lahat ng may sakit ay may AIDS na yan. Kasi ito yung naiisip natin. Okay? Stigma. Now, condom sa stigma. Alam mo na for prevention of STI and HIV, kukuha ka na lang sa mini-stop, sa 7-Eleven at saka sa Uncle John o kaya sa mga grocery stores, pero ayaw mo kumuha kasi baka may makakita. Okay? So, stigma. As well as yung HIV test. Has stigma. Ayaw mong magpa-HIV test kasi ayaw mong maisip ng iba na ikaw ay homosexual. Kasi before in 1990s, it's a gay plague. Pero it's 2023. It's just any other ordinary disease na pinakita ko sa inyo. Now, HIV-related discrimination, acting out the unfavorable attitudes, beliefs, and policies. Ito ang problema natin. So, discrimination. Balik tayo sa simple example ko. Nakakita kayo ng homosexual, bading. Tapos payat, may sakit. Naisip nyo, ay, may AIDS. Now, in the workplace, I don't want to share the same room, breathe the same air, kasi wala kayong alam doon sa mga sinabi ko. I don't want to share the pantry, okay, canteen nyo, share the same utensils, or in the workplace, ayaw nyo makigamit, paggamitin ang table nyo, headsets nyo, computer nyo, microphone nyo. Now, even in restrooms, takot kayo kasi wala kayong alam. That's the reason why the best way to break stigma and discrimination in the workplace is by becoming aware. That's why our Department of Labor and Employment has reiterated guidelines and company policies para magkaroon ng regular awareness to break the stigma and discrimination, because HIV is just a virus. Stigma is the deadly disease. Alam nyo ba, marami nagsusuicide even in the workplace, pag nalaman may HIV sila, kasi wala silang alam. It's time to educate. Normalize the conversation. Maraming nagre-resign, tapos alam niyo yan, mawawala. Ba't nawala? Nag-resign bigla. Tapos, nabalitaan niyo may sakit, tapos namatay. When we could have prevented that to happen. We don't want to lose colleagues. Kailangan intindihin natin, unawain natin, at isapuso natin ang ibig sabihin ng HIV and AIDS. And HIV is a virus. Discrimination can kill people. Let's break the stigma and discrimination and have HIV in the workplace programs. In doing so, we establish a safe, wala nang kakatakutan, walang stigma, walang discrimination for everybody to be healthy. Now, ang kinagandahan niyan, simulan ko na naman sa magandang kwento. Alam nyo na ang HIV ay nagtaguyod ang Philippine National AIDS Council. Kami po actually ang sumulat ng HIV and the AIDS Policy Act of 2018, RA 11166, kasama ang Department of Labor and Employment kasi sila po ay miyembro ng Philippine National AIDS Council. Briefly, ang nilalahad po niyan ay education as a right to health and information. Kailangan may right information tayo about health and HIV, promotion and encouragement of HIV testing. Hindi po mandatory ang HIV test. Bawal po yun. Tayo po ay pwede lang voluntary testing. So ang kumpanya po natin ay hindi pwedeng force sa atin magpa-HIV test. But of course, at the end of the day, mas maganda po kung tayo voluntarily magpa-test. Ang pinakamaganda po niyan, after this talk, kailangan sana magpa-test po tayo to understand paano po ang proseso, how confidential it is para kung hindi naman tayo sexually active, hindi tayo we don't have risky behaviors. Pero kung may kakilala tayo, then we can impart that. No? Ay, madali lang pala magpa-test. Dito tayo sa mga kita. Kuha nyo po, economic empowerment and support. Ito po ay bigay ng DSWD. So meron po silang medical, financial, vocational, educational, livelihood, and even burial support. Health insurance and similar health services, health insurance, ang PhilHealth, meron po silang outpatient HIV and AIDS treatment package amounting to 30,000 worth of benefit packages for HIV. Lahat po kayo, pag empleyado, kayo po ay may PhilHealth, so huwag kayo matakot kasi that will cover yung consultation and even laboratory. And similar health services, ito po ang sinusulong namin sa Philippine National AIDS Council under the Insurance Commission. Hindi pa lang tapos. Kailangan po nating maisulong na magkaroon na ng polisiya about HMO and life insurance because under the law, no PLHIV or person living with HIV should be denied or deprived of HMO benefits and life insurance. Again, we have to wait for the Insurance Commission's letter of a circular letter on this para magkaroon tayo, magbigay tayo ng guidance. Then confidentiality, anti-discrimination, and bullying, those are parts of the law plus the violations and penalties. Dati po kasi 10,000 lang po yan ang penalties. Now, because of the stigma and discrimination, marami pa rin natatakot, tinaasan na po natin. And all violations of the RA 11166 are criminal na. Meron na pong jail time, meron pa pong fine. Misinformation, pagkalat ng maling information, may imprisonment up to 5 million. Discrimination even in the workplace, imprisonment, 500,000. Violation in the Act of the Protection of HIV health workers kasi maraming health workers ang nadidiscriminate. Mismong sila nadidiscriminate. May jail time and may fine. Ito pa pinaka-importante. HIV testing without consent. Yung mga companies na nagfo-force na magpa-HIV test, bawal po yun. Kailangan voluntary. No? 6 years imprisonment, revocation of the license of either the medical professional or even the company itself. Confidentiality, ito po para sa mga marites sa atin. Yung tawag dito, pag-spread ng mga rumors o narinig nyo lang na siya ay nagpa-test, pinalat nyo. Siya ay umiinom ng gamot, nagpa-treat, kinalat ninyo. O kaya may AIDS-related infections, nakalat sa company. So, pwede pong magkaroon ng breach of confidentiality and meron po tayong imprisonment and fine. So, all violations of RA 11166 can be considered as criminal already. Ang pinakamaganda po niyan ay nabuo at nagkaroon ng mandate ang different organizations or government organizations. Ang Department of Health as part of the health program, nagkakaroon na sila ng regular DOH issuances when it comes to antiretrovirals, testing, awareness. At pagbuo ng different programs for campaigns and partnering with different organizations. Ang PhilHealth, nabanggit ko po sa inyo, ay meron na silang OHAD package. Ang DSWD, nabanggit ko po sa inyo na meron sila assistance package. Na kung saan pwede kayo, huwag kayong problema. Kung sa tingin nyo, wala kayong pera, panggamot, etc., medical, financial, livelihood, educational, even burial, meron pong nilaan ang DSWD for HIV. Ang Department of Labor and Employment ay napakalakas sa pagsulong ng ating polisiya on the guidelines of having HIV in the workplace policy. Nagsimula ng DOLE 102-10. Ngayon po, meron na tayong Labor Advisory 22, series of 2023. Kalalabas lang last month. And we are so grateful. Ang tagal na naming hinintay at nailabas na po. And the Oslo, as well as the DOJ and CHR redress mechanism na kung saan ang Project Red Ribbon ay isa sa mga consultants niyan. And hinihintay na lang po natin yung sa Insurance Commission on, with regards to HMO and life insurance. And of course, the DILG for the local government units to enact ordinances as well as local local AIDS Council and local health board to consider and to add HIV programs. Sa services, tingnan lang natin para wag kayong matakot. Kung ikaw ay may HIV, kailangan lang pumunta kayo sa nearest treatment hub na kung saan pwede kayo makapag-avail ng services ng Department of Health for ARVs, OI medicines, PhilHealth, laboratory tests, medicines, consultation, counseling, deliveries, DSWD, medical financial assistance, educational, livelihood, nutritional, and burial, LGU, medical and financial assistance, DOLE, Civil Service Commission for the government agencies, Department of Migrant Workers for employees' concerns, DOJ, PLHIV redress mechanism, and HIV organizations like CSO, civil service organizations, civil society organizations, community-based organizations, and NGO. Ito po ang meron tayo sa Pilipinas. Kaya wag po kayong matakot magpates. Now let's start making an impact. Ito po yung kailangan natin pag-usapan. Ang DOLE po, last September ay nag-release ng Labor Advisory 22 series of 2023. Ito po ay makikita nyo sa ating, dito sa ating Facebook page at sa ating website ng Department of Labor and Employment. Ito po yung supplemental guidelines on the implementation of the prevention and control of human immunodeficiency virus and acquired immunodeficiency virus, HIV and AIDS in the workplace. Napaka-importante po na lahat po tayo, kung tayo po ay miyembro ng isang organization, company, or corporate organization, kung tayo po ay nasa HR, napaka-importanting role po natin. At kung tayo ay isang part tayo ng occupational medicine ng ating mga clinics, kailangan po natin maintindihan to. Ano po yung sinasaad? Nilalaman ito. Creation of HIV and AIDS Prevention and Control Program. Naipaliwanag ko po sa inyo, napaka-importante. Ito po, pinaliwanag ko po sa inyo yung National HIV and AIDS Prevention and Control Program. Lahat pong yon ay pwede nyo pong madala sa kumpanya ninyo. All you have to do is to create and write your policy para maging sustainable. Para pagpalit-palit man ng mga leaders, nandiyan na po yung programa. At ito po ay isa sa tinitingnan ng Department of Labor and Employment. Next is referral mechanism to HIV and AIDS facilities. Napaliwanag ko po sa inyo, ang isang taong may HIV ay kailangan pumunta sa facility. Treatment facility. Napaka-importante po niyan. Pero kung tayo ay nasa clinic, at meron po tayong isang person living with HIV needing support, dapat po ay meron na rin po tayong access to the treatment facilities. Or you can also link up with Project Red Ribbon and our treatment facility, yung MyHub Cares, para matulungan kayo. And yung PhilHealth Consulta accredited facilities, na ipaliwanag ko po sa inyo na ang mga taong may HIV, pag newly diagnosed, and those who have been diagnosed, regular po ang check-up niyan, at dun sa PhilHealth Consulta accredited facilities ay nalilibre na po rin yan. Dagdagan na rin po natin yung malasakit centers. Gusto ko po idagdag na meron tayong malasakit centers and facilities in hospitals nagbibigay ng libre. What more can you ask for? Wala na dapat natatakot. And of course, work accommodations and arrangements na isasaad dito sa ating labor advisory, yung mga paid leave, paid leave benefits on top of existing leave benefits. Siyempre, base yan dun sa ating mga company policies, yung collective bargaining agreement, and the Labor Code of the Philippines. Yung flexible work arrangement. Kasi ang pag-inom ng gamot, minsan may side effect. So kailangan i-adjust based dun sa kanyang iniinom na gamot. And especially if those person or employees have AIDS-related conditions, kailangan din tayong mag-adjust para dun sa benefit niya. And then rescheduling of work hours. Kasi merong mga gamot na binigay ng doktor, HIV doctors, hindi pwedeng inumin ng ganitong time lang. Pwedeng inumin bago matulog. Or meron nakakapag-cause ng insomnia. So kailangan marunong tayo. So it's a collaborative effort between the company as well as the employee as well as the treatment facility. Napaka-importante. Without breaking the confidentiality. And of course, yung adoption of work arrangements. Ano pa ba yung possible na pwede natin magawa? Yung telecommuting, yung other benefits na pwede niya maibigay. So napaka-importante. Yun ay nakasaad dito sa labor advisory natin. And safeguard the confidentiality of employee medical records. Nakasaad yan sa batas at kailangan ma-safeguard natin sa ating organizations. At ito po, napaka-importante, yung reporting of HIV programs and implementation. Huwag po nating hayaan meron lang tayong polisiya tapos sasabihin lang natin, ay nakapag-talk po kami sa 10 out of 100, out of 200. Ang ini-establish po natin dito ay magkaroon tayo ng safe working environment. It's not just for compliance sake because this is a health issue. We have to make sure that we address the health issue in the best possible way. Now, ito po ang pwede natin gawin. Samples, HIV Workplace Program or HIV Program in the Workplace, pwede po nyo i-ankla sa ating human resources or HR-driven. Pwede pumasok sa compensation and benefits. Pwede rin pong pumasok yan dun sa ating mga learning and development as e-learning courses. Pwede rin po yan dun sa ating mga campaigns, events, kay awareness, pagbibigay ng talk, pagkakaroon ng town hall meetings, forums, etc. Ang HIV program din ay pwedeng pumasok sa D&I, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Program or Employee Relations Group. Ito po yung LGBT group, kung meron po kayong ganon. Kung may women's group, sila po yung pwede nating turuan at maging volunteers and advocates to give the talks in the companies. Hindi lang tayo aasa sa mga LGUs or government agencies or non-government organizations, but if our policy dictates that we should have an internal and more sustainable one, then we can have that. As well as CSR. Ang CSR, katulad niyan, ang Project Red Ribbon nasa Duyan, Cradling Children with HIV. Makaramihan, merong ang CSR ninyo ay sa mga orphanages, sa mga schools. Pwede rin po kayo mag-approach sa mga PLHIV organizations to have CHIV programs. And HIV workplace, pwedeng ganito po ang HR-driven company policies. Tayo po ang gumawa ng policies, HIV awareness program, prevention and testing. Ito po yung sinasabi ko kung sa health benefits, compensation and benefits program ng HR, pwede tayo maglagay ng testing sa clinic nyo. Pwede tayo maglagay ng condoms and lubricants. Marami na po kami natulungan. Yung iba po may condom dispensers na sa restroom. Ganon ka-open because it's already 2022 at 23. Redress mechanism, paano magko-complain ang isa because of the stigma and discrimination. We should safeguard and protect those who also have issues when it comes to stigma and discrimination. Ang DOLE rin po ay may redress mechanism. Yun ang kinagandahan because they want to serve all the employees as well as the referral mechanism. Saan natin i-refer? Ito po yung Service Delivery Network. Ang DNI and ERG and CSR for peer counselors, outreach programs, and support PLHIV groups. Marami po tayong pwedeng gawin when it comes to the HIV program. Pinakita ko po sa inyo ang isang programa galing sa national government. Pinakita ko po sa inyo kung ano po ang pwede nyong gawin inside your organization because at the end of the day, we want to save lives. We want to save the lives of your employees. Now, Project Red Ribbon is a program, is a project in partnership, or it's an organization in partnership with the IT and Business Process Association of the Philippines. Meron po kaming dine-develop yearly na workplace HIV and AIDS prevention and control program. Pinapakita namin ito sa DOLE. Kung gusto nyo pong makatulong kami on how you can create workplace programs, you can reach out to IBPAP or even Project Red Ribbon. Matatagpuan nyo lang po kami sa Facebook. Makikita nyo po kami and you can directly message us or you can look for us in the web in our web spaces, no? So again, ito po ay isang primer na kung saan nakasulat kung paano gagawin, paano kayo makakapag-create ng HIV in the workplace programs, prevention and control program. Just reach out to us. Now, ano po pwede niyong gawin? Other ways to do it? Know your role. Ngayon, nakinig po kayo. Ano ang pwede niyong gawin? You can be an advocate, you can be a person pushing for reforms in your organization, create programs. Have a functional HIV in the workplace program. Ang pinakaayaw po lang natin, pag nag-inspect ang DOLE, papakita nyo ang policy natin for compliance. Again, this is a health issue. It's an important health issue. We need to save lives. So create programs. Educate others in the community. So ngayon may alam po kayo, let's start sharing and join HIV campaigns and events and policies and advocacies. World AIDS Day is upcoming this December 1. Alam ko ang Department of Labor and Employment together with the other PIDA Council members ay nagbubuo ng mga programa na kung saan magkakaroon ng national awareness campaigns. Now, creating healthy workspace and driving cultural change to save lives. Ito po ang pinaka-challenge natin. I want you, everybody, to influence your organization. Kung wala influence your organization to write, kung walang policy, communicate. Na ipaliwanag ko sa inyo, ipaliwanag po natin sa ating organization, consult with employees, lalo na kung kayo ay HR, and deploy HIV-safe policies. Ibig sabihin, implement po natin yung HIV policy natin. Number 2, advocate for dynamic policies. Ito po ay pabago-bago kasi every organization has different policies at every year, meron tayong mga bagong innovations. Kailangan po natin i-adjust yan based sa pangangailangan, adjusting organizational needs and capabilities, as well as act as advocates. By doing so, you drive inclusive organization culture. The change has to start with you to impact cultural change. Now, if you don't have a program yet, you can reach out to My Hub Cares. It's the newest HIV treatment facility na kung saan makaka-access kayo ng libreng HIV test, libreng condoms and lubes, libreng PrEP, at saka libreng gamot kung kayo ay taong may HIV. Again, maraming salamat. Ako po si Iko Rodulfo Johnson, ang inyong kasama sa pakikipaglaban sa HIV at willing po namin kayong tulungan sa inyong pangangailangan upang magkaroon tayo ng HIV-safe workspace, HIV-safe organization. Again, maraming salamat. Sir Marco, back to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sir Iko, Project Red Ribbon Organization. Okay, again, I'm Dr. Marco Baleros and I will be leading sa sa atin pong open forum. Pero while preparing po yung mga questions na nag-gather po namin, okay, very briefly, thank you nga pala Sir Iko for that very comprehensive and informative na na lecture that you have provided to us So una po, so how do we drive yung cultural change? Ang sabi nga dito, that we should have a change in perspective to address yung stigma and discrimination kasi ang mga people living with HIV/AIDS rin naman, mga productive individuals yan at hindi naman po sila hindi sila hazard and yung hindi sila nakakahawa yung possible spread of infection na natatakutan natin, hindi po mangyayari po yan sa workplace. Na isa-isa naman po ni Sir Iko kanina kung paano lang naman natatransmit yung mga casual contacts natin ay hindi naman siya mag-lead sa HIV. Then yung access to services, very important. Okay, hindi naman daw po it is not that expensive to implement yung HIV program kasi yung public health system naka-mainstream na po doon yung mga HIV programs and services. Maganda po na i-present sa atin ni Sir Iko kung paano natin ma-access po yung mga yon. And incidentally, nasa labor advisory naman din po yan ng DOLE. Makita po natin doon yung mga link. Tapos, of course, yung health education, important po yan sa prevention kasi we are being provided with information kung paano maiwasan. Same with yung importance ng ng testing yan para kasi very important po yung early intervention. Pag sa testing na nalaman na may HIV yung individual, at least yung necessary na nagamutan madali pong maibigay po sa kanya. And then, yung HIV and AIDS is not synonymous. May gamot sa HIV, no? Yung mga antiretroviral drugs, may mga prophylaxis na nabanggit din. Pero again, treatment po sila, ha? Malinaw lang, hindi po sila cure. Pero may kilala po akong basketball player, no? NBA, naaalala ko, no? 1991, first year med proper ako. Nag-retire siya from basketball because may HIV siya. Until now, 2023, buhay pa siya. Why? Because of these ARVs, no? Na iniinom niya. Tapos, of course, yung importance ng policies and guidelines, yung psychosocial issues na na-address po sa labor advisory po ng DOLE. At of course, yung HIV/AIDS, hindi naman siya hindi naman siya kay DOH lang, hindi lang siya kay DOLE lang, hindi lang siya kay Project Ribbon lang, no? Ano yan? Whole of society approach yan. Kasama din namin po kayo na nagtataguyod din po ng programa. At of course, last na bago natin ibigay yung mga tanong kay Sir Iko, okay, yung change starts with us po, na kailangan magkaroon lang tayo ng open mind na yung people living with HIV/AIDS, no, especially yung mga employees, no, are also productive individuals, no. Kung bibigyan lang po natin ng opportunity, kung hindi natin sila i-discriminate sa atin pong mga workplaces, no, mabigyan natin sila yung necessary accommodation, and they would give back sa atin, ano, kung ano man po yung dapat na ini-expect natin na work from them. Yan. Okay, so paki na lang po yung ating mga questions kay Sir Iko. We have sir, medyo marami-rami to, ha. Medyo na
okay lang po, okay lang po.
Na-engage yung mga participants. Okay, so for the first question, okay, sige sir, no? So while no? Basahin ko na lang po dito, no? So sabi dito, how does cultural change equal behavioral change, no? Siguro ibig sabihin nito, no? Yung cultural change, papaano siya na translate into behavioral change ng ng mga employees, ng employer sa organization.
Actually, napaka-importante, good question, kasi magsisimula tayo sa behavior natin. Magsisimula sa atin, sa pagtingin natin, paano tayo mag-act, ating behavior to create a cultural change. Kasi pag sinabi nating culture, it's the culture itself of the organization, culture of our society. Parang ganito po yan. Anong difference sa Pilipinas, sa United States, or Pilipinas sa first world country? Sila mas open kasi yung culture nila nagbukas ang isipan. But it has to start with you. It has to start with us. So ating behavior. So napaka-importante ng ating education when it comes to HIV and AIDS, sa ating decrease ng stigma and discrimination, by knowing the information, the right information, by knowing the law to protect others and to protect our rights, doon magbabago yung ating pananaw. Parang example, kung alam mo na hindi pwedeng ipagkalat ang HIV status at may batas, di syempre tatahimik ka. Ibig sabihin, magsisimula sa behavior mo, doon mababago yung pananaw mo. Kung ikaw ay hindi na maniniwala sa mga myths and misconceptions, magbabago yung inyong behavior. Pag nag-multiply yung behavior mo to others, then magkakaroon tayo ng cultural change. So napaka-importante po na magkaroon tayo or to normalize the conversation. Ang pinaka-nakakatakot po sa ating society ngayon ay ayaw natin pag-usapan. Ang sexual behavior nga is kailan ba pinag-uusapan? Sa high school na. Hindi pinag-uusapan sa bahay. It's the same thing with HIV. Since meron siyang part na sexual behavior or risky behaviors, pag-usapan na po natin. Because it's already 2023, start changing our behaviors so that we can have this rippling effect na mag-create ng cultural change. Yun yung pinaka-importante. Awareness is the best way. Ang awareness po natin ay hindi lamang pagbibigay ng talk sa organization, sa company. Pwede po tayo mag-create ng posters The more posters at nagiging visible ang HIV at napag-uusapan, that will normalize the conversation. By seeing, testing, that will normalize the conversation and will trigger a cultural change. Ibig sabihin, the more that we individually accept HIV programs, the more that the company will accept it. That's the cultural change that we want to drive at.
Okay, thank you, Sir Igo. No? So, kailangan lang talaga pagiging open-minded. No? Being an open-minded, it does not mean na liberal naman. It's more of nagkakaroon tayo ng broader perspective of the problem. No? Hindi yung binawali siya sa ilalim ng rugs. Mas na-appreciate natin yung problem, mas nakakapag tayo, no? Na-address yung problema. Thank you, Sir Igo. Okay, number 2 po. Okay, ito, sir, for people living with HIV, pag undetectable, pwede na rin po mag-baby. I think ito, sir, yung yung mga antibodies na na-discuss kanina. 'Di ba? Kasi
po yung
pag umiinom ka na ng 'di ba, ARVs, lumaabot sa punto na halos hindi na siya na detected, hindi na siya nakakahawa. So ang tanong niya, sir, pag ganito na po ba yung yung level ng antibodies, nung virus sa katawan, pwede na raw po ba siyang magka-baby?
100%. Kasi ngayon po, ang undetectable, ito po yung undetectable viral load means untransmissible. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang sa baby, hindi nyo na rin po mahahawahan ang partner ninyo pag undetectable na kayo. Ngayon po, actually yung July, ang World Health Organization ay nagbigay na ng strong position on this, that kung ang isang taong may HIV, for a PLHIV, if the person is undetectable, meron na siyang zero risk of transmission. So WHO na yon. So ibig sabihin, paniwalaan na natin, pag undetectable ka na, you are as healthy as anybody else. You can live a normal life, healthy life. You can work anywhere you want to work, except for Middle East at saka sa sa Singapore, kasi may discrimination pa doon sa PLHIV. Pero dito sa ating bansa, hindi kayo pwede ma-discriminate. Now, napaka-importante niyan, you can have a normal, healthy family pag kayo ay undetectable na. So ang sagot ko dyan ay 100%.
Okay, thank you, Sir Igo. So very important, paano ka magbigyan ng ARVs kung hindi ka magpapatest. So importante po talaga yung testing. So number 3, by the way, yung yung mga gamot naman, available naman yan sa mga treatment hubs. Sabi nga ni Sir Igo, madali naman silang ma-access. Okay, so number 3, sir. How do you deal with HIV in the workplace? Ayan. So siguro pagka mayroong empleyado na mayroong HIV, so paano ba siya dapat na na i-treat ng mga co-workers niya, ng employer po niya?
Dealing with HIV has to start with the person. Kasi it's very confidential, it's very private. You cannot assume that the person has HIV without the person revealing his or her HIV status. It will start from the person. Hindi pwede na yung taong may HIV, narinig mo lang na may HIV siya, in-approach mo na kaagad siya to help him out or her out. Hindi pwedeng ganon. Kailangan very confidential, kailangan manggaling sa kanya. Nasa batas po nga natin is kailangan may consent pa bago natin tulungan ang isang tao. Ibig sabihin, kailangan yung tao may HIV, kailangan sa kanya manggaling na siya ay may HIV. Now, assuming na siya ay lumapit sa inyo at siya ay umamin at gusto niya ng tulong ninyo, ay pwede naman nating matulungan. Ito po yung sinasaad na natin sa ating labor advisory na kailangan magkaroon tayo ng guidelines on how to have a referral mechanism. May referral mechanism to the treatment facilities in hospital, tertiary hospitals. Ito yung mga treatment hubs na tinatawag, or dun sa mga primary care facilities like in social hygiene clinics. Nakasaad po yan sa labor advisory natin. Doon na po gagawin yung full counseling, doon na po gagawin ang treatment dealing with HIV. Kailangan meron po tayong linkage. Kung tayo po ay may clinic, kailangan po may referral tayo kung sakasakali. Now, kung ang ating employee naman ay merong psychosocial disorders secondary to HIV, ito yung depression, ito po yung other mental health issues. Minsan naman po kung maire-refer natin sa ating mga mental health professionals, kung meron tayong access to psychiatrists, clinical psychologists, kung meron po tayong programa, doon din po tayo makakatulong. Pero napaka-importante sa lahat, to not violate the right of the individual, kailangan po may written consent. Napaka-importante nito. Kailangan may written consent si employee na gusto niyang tulungan siya ninyo. Kasi nakasaad po yan sa batas. Kailangan may consent si employee bago kayo humingi ng tulong, kasi pag hingi nyo ng tulong, kailangan nyo rin po, bakit ba nangangailangan ng tulong itong client or employee natin? Kasi siya ay may HIV, and secondary to HIV, meron siyang depression, meron siyang ganito. So napaka-importante po yun. Again, dealing with HIV in the workplace starts with the person reaching out to you and respecting and understanding the law to protect the rights of the individual. It starts from there.
Okay, thank you, Sir Iko. No? So, very important yung disclosure. No? So, very important kasi yan, kasi papaano ka nga naman matulungan. Kasi kung walang confirmation, walang pagpapahiwatig na kailangan mo ng tulong. Yan. Rest assured naman po, no?
Saka Doc, kailangan yung yung written consent, napaka-importante noon.
Yes, opo. Na-enumerate kanina yung mga penalties, no? Sang-ayon po sa RA. So, very important na mayroong proof ng consent, no? Kasi baka mabalikan tayo doon, mahirap.
Opo,
Okay, so number 4 po, is it safe to work with an HIV positive person? Yan, nasagot na yan ni Sir Iko, no? Pero sige sir, na lang po, elaborate na lang po.
Opo, elaborate ko lang po. Pwede po, kasi hindi naman po nakakahawa, hindi po siya communicable disease na parang sa air nakukuha po yan sa fluids. Sa banggit ko kanina, nakukuha yan sa dugo, nakukuha yan sa vaginal fluid, nakukuha yan sa semen, and nakukuha yan sa breast milk. So pagtatrabaho sa isang workplace, kasama nyo po ay hindi po kayo mahahawahan. Hindi pwede yan sa skin to skin, hindi sa pakikipag-usap, sa paghalik, sa pagyakap, sa pag-share ng utensils, paggamit ng toilet seats o paggamit ng mga work equipments. Hindi po yan nakukuha. Yan po ang pinaka-importante to break the stigma and discrimination. Kailangan natin maintindihan ng isang HIV positive person or a person living with HIV, as long as he or she is taking care of or taking medicines, number 1, and you, as long as you know that he or she or a person living with HIV or a person having HIV ay hindi makakahawa, wala dapat kayong katakutan.
Thank you, sir. Okay, number 5. Okay, so how can HIV be spread in the workplace? Partly parang sa discussion kanina na na rin yan ni Sir Iko, no? Dahil lang naman hindi naman at general rule, no? Hindi naman siya nakakahawa. However, no, yung sa mga occupation na mayroong potential na spread or contact with yung mga contaminated blood and body fluids, doon po siguro tayo dapat na mag-ingat. Pero otherwise, hindi naman siya sir, no? Hindi talaga siyung isa-isa naman sir, yung mga possible, yung casual contacts, hindi, no? Sa lang yan, protected sex, yung exposure sa mga contaminated blood and body fluids at mother to child. Wala nang iba.
Yan. At saka Doc, mas malakas pang kumalat ang chismis. That can create stigma and discrimination. Yun ang mas nakakatakot kaysa HIV. Now, going back to your point, kasi syempre may workplace tayo na health facilities. Example, yung mga hospitals, meron naman tayong universal precautions for doctors, for nurses, dealing with HIV patients. So kailangan paigtingin, palakasin, maging aware that meron din tayong mga HIV clients na hihingi ng tulong. And meron tayong mga laboratory tests that would be invasive, with invasive approaches. Kaya we have to practice universal precautions as well, especially for healthcare providers.
Okay, tsaka sa discussion kanina, nabanggit din ni Sir Iko yung post-exposure prophylaxis. Yes. No? So, kung accidentally nagkaroon tayo ng needle stick injuries, no, pwede naman tayo mag-ask ng assistance, no, para ma-access natin yung mga post-exposure prophylaxis. Ayan.
Dagdag ko lang, Doc, yun
Yes.
Dagdag ko lang, for medical professionals who had accidental needle stick injuries, libre lang po yun. Libre lang po yon sa treatment facilities. Kailangan lang within 72 hours ay pumunta kayo sa nearest treatment facility. Kasi may pagkakataon talaga. Hindi naman perpekto lahat kahit may universal precautions. Meron din pagkakataon. So napaka-importante maging aware lahat ng medical professionals na kung kayo ay nagkaroon ng needle stick injury at to validate it, yung pasyente nyo po ay isang taong may HIV, then kailangan kayong tumakbo at pumunta sa nearest treatment facility with yung nabanggit ko po kanina na hindi na may bayad, yun po ay for non-occupational. Ibig sabihin, kung ikaw ay may risky behavior, nakipagtalik ka at sa tingin ko mo may HIV katalik mo or nag-inject ka ng drugs, yun po ay hindi libre. Pero for health professionals, yun po ay libre kung kayo ay nagkaroon ng needle stick injury. Salamat po.
Thank you, Sir Iko. No? Please be mindful lang nung binanggit ni Sir Iko na 72 hours, no? Within 72 hours upon exposure, kailangan nakatakbo na po tayo. Yeah. Next po. What are barriers to cultural change? Ayan. Gandang tanong, ano bang barriers po, no? Sa cultural change?
Simple lang yan. For instance, sa isang kumpanya na eventually naging kapartner namin, even yung condom has stigma. So alam natin na ang pagbibigay ng condom or pagtanggap ng programa ng condom program sa isang kumpanya, sometimes ang lakas ng resistance. Ang lakas ng resistance kasi ang condom kala nagpro-promote ng promiscuity, yung pakikipagtalik ka sa kung sa or increased sexual activity, or doon sa mga conservative, more religious. So ang tingin sa condoms ay for contraception. But we are health professionals. We are trying to prevent HIV. Alam niyo yung condoms ng Department of Health, meron pang ang logo ng Department of Health. Kasi gusto nila pakita na etong condoms na ito ay health. Okay, it's a health modality or tawag dito, tool. Okay, parang ganon. So what are the barriers? Of course, the culture itself is the barrier. Kung ito ang perception natin against sa ating religion, kung masyado tayong conservative, ayaw natin tanggapin na ito kailangan na tayo, kailangan natin tumulong. Number 3, alam niyo po, sa totoo lang, financials. Minsan kasi yung business side ng companies tinitignan, ay baka mahal. Ay baka pag nagkaroon tayo ng programang ganito, magdadagdag pa tayo ng mga tao, etc. Pinakita ko sa inyo, even ang Project Red Ribbon willing magbigay ng mga supplies sa inyo for free. Nagbibigay din kami ng trainings and most of the time libre lang po yun kasi in partnership with DOLE and the Department of Health. Sometimes wala ng cost iyon para lang makita ninyo that we are willing to help. Those are the barriers. Pero ang answer dyan is the culture itself is the barrier. And the best way to have cultural change is for us to accept the program, understand the program, and then that will trigger the cultural change, the culture to create a different cultural change.
Thank you, Sir Iko. So kailangan po talaga natin na awareness na ma-address na yung mga beliefs no na na of course ano kasi tayo sir, mahirap na baliin pagiging conservative ng mga Pilipino, but then kailangan nating maging open minded for us to move forward para malabanan natin, maiwasan yung pagkalat ng sakit. Yeah. Thank you, Sir Igo.
Marco, dagdagan ko lang kasi palaging sinasabi, naku baka religious, baka simbahan. To be honest, even churches are helping with the HIV program now. Kasi ang sinasabi sa amin dati ng even yung mga pare, bakit tayo tumutulong pag may sakit na? Tutulong tayo pag may pangangailangan na. Why not focus also on prevention? That's the best way to get partners. Kung kayo ay may mga partner na institutions, to break and instill cultural change, then use them to also influence your organization to have cultural change.
Thank you, Sir Igo. No? So nabanggit din ni Sir Igo kanina yung organization nila willing to help. No? So reach lang natin siya doon sa Facebook ng Red Ribbon. Yeah. Okay, next po.
Project Red Ribbon po.
Project Red Ribbon. Baka nga sa cake sila mapunta. Sorry, Sir Igo. Project Red Ribbon. Yeah. Okay, number 7. Need po ba ilagay sa policy na nagsasabing encourage ang worker na may HIV ay mag-open mismo sa HIV committee or sa HR? Ayan. Okay, ito yung disclosure. Yan.
The person has the right to disclose or not to disclose because yun yung karapatan niya. Kaya nga sinasabi natin, kung siya ay magde-disclose, kailangan with written consent. As long as, bakit natin i-encourage mag-disclose? We can just tell if the person, ang pinakamaganda approach yan is to share your services. Pakita natin yung polisiya natin. May redress mechanism tayo. Meron tayong clinic na kung saan pwede silang pumunta. Pero we cannot just, kasi alam nyo po, ang mga empleyado, sometimes hindi nila maintindihan yung mismong word na encourage, baka sabihin ay fino-force sila na mag-disclose. Better na pakita lang natin na ganito, meron tayong access. The term is access to the services, access to the clinic, access to the external or service delivery network. Ito yung mga treatment facilities. Ang kumpanya natin ay may access sa psychosocial, sa mental health services. Better po i-word natin kaysa i-encourage natin, baka kasi sila mismo ay uncomfortable sa ganyan. Better po tamain po natin yung mga wordings natin. So better to be just present all your services and present in your policy that their rights are protected and everything will be confidential and their right to privacy will be confidential.
Okay, thank you, Sir Igo. No? So, pinupunto lang ni Sir Igo, mag-create tayo ng enabling environment for them na mag-come out, mag-disclose. Siguro, aside from that, yung sir, yung stigma and discrimination, pag nawala yun sa workplace, wala tayong issue, sir, sa lalabas at lalabas talaga yan, magiging open sila. Kung hindi tayo magiging judgmental towards them, na magiging negative yung tingin natin sa kanila, iiwasan natin sila, discriminate sila. So po 'yon? Wag nating gawin po 'yan kasi hindi yun nakaka-encourage for them na mag-open sa ating pong mga supervisors at sa HR. Thank you, Sir Igo. Okay?
Thank you.
Kasi na sir, medyo maraming tanong.
Hindi, okay lang po. Maski gabihin po tayo, okay lang.
Ayan. Number 8, sir. Will it not affect the child in her womb for pregnant women who will take medicine for HIV/AIDS? Ayan. Siguro sir, yung ARVs, wala bang side effect po sa sa mga bata, sa babies? Sa sinapupunan?
Napaka-importante. Ang ARVs po, para in the spirit of transparency, meron po yan mga side effects even to adults. No? Now your question, will it affect the child? That's the reason why pag ang pregnant woman ay isang taong may HIV, kailangan po ang approach pa dyan ay multidisciplinary na when it comes to the medical team. So ibig sabihin, nandyan po ang ating HIV who's experience with infectious diseases. Papasok na rin po dyan yung ating OB, possible po OBID, infectious disease, para makikita po nila yung dynamics and effects sa child ng ang pagte-take ng HIV. So ang pinaka-importante po natin ditong tingnan ay yung kung ang bata ba ay magkakaroon. Kasi no matter magkakaroon ng HIV or wala, yun ang pinaka-importante. Kaya from the process in the womb ay minamatyaga na po yan ng ating infectious disease doctors including the OBID. Then pag lumabas ang bata, papasok na po ang HIV infectious doctors natin plus ang pediatric ID doctors natin. My point here is that any medicine naman maaaring magkaroon ng side effects, no? So ang kailangan lang ay matignan and all throughout the pregnancy and all throughout the delivery up to the growth of the child ay mamatyaga ng ating medical team. At iyan po ang kinagandahan, meron na po tayo mga pediatric OB/ID specializing on HIV.
Thank you, Sir Iko. No? So sabi naman namin sa inyo, yung services ng government, no? Na riyan lang. So need lang natin talaga silang ma-access. Next po, number 9. How will confidentiality be assured by the company? Ayan. So of course, no, we are promoting confidentiality. Pero sabi nga kanina, no, even with us as experience, no, parang itong confidentiality, it's a big word when in fact, no, maraming marites at tolits no, sa atin. So pero how do we assure na meron po nito at mapapangalagaan po, no, yung information na meron po yung mga patient natin living with HIV/AIDS.
Number 1, kailangan everybody should be informed about the policy of the company. Number 2, embedded in the policy is already the RA 11166 and the data privacy law. So kailangan naka-embed doon constant and regular awareness programs and other HIV programs that will assure, basically tell everybody their rights. And also the law and the punishments. Doon na pinapakita kung ano ang possible repercussions. Kasi to be honest, can a company assure? Ma-assure ba ang isang marites? Pero ma-assure natin si marites na nagkwento ay maaring ma-fine and makulong. And that will be the assurance that the company can provide. Meaning if there are grievances, if there are complaints, the company can assure you that they will do, especially if they have HIV in the workplace policy, as basically required by the Department of Labor and Employment, then you will be assured that the company has to do something about it. And also, what's good about the monitoring system and the evaluation of the programs or each company is once hindi magawa ng company, meron ding redress naman ng DOLE na meron din tayong grievance mechanism for complaints. Actually, a simple sabi nga namin, sinasabi namin palagi, sometimes it takes yung sample. May masample na konti and then makikita natin kung how the company will respond to any grievance, any complaints. That's how employees become assured na may gagawin. Ang masaklap po kasi dyan, yung confidentiality na violate, tapos walang ginawa yung company. So yun ang ginagawa natin, kaya meron tayong polisiya on the guidelines of having an HIV in the workplace policy. Kasi hindi naman ma-assure 100%. There will be a leakage. There will be a gap. But how the company would address that gap and how would the company address the issue is a different thing. Then that becomes the assurance to the employees that this is safe no matter what because you are protected by the company.
Thank you, Sir Iko. No? So, kailangan lang talaga mapaalalahanan, ma-remind yung mga employees, yung mga workers na merong ganitong polisiya ang company, no? At merong mga nakaambang mga penalties para sa magba-violate yan.
Doc
Okay,
Marco,
so,
that's the reason.
sir?
Doc Marco, dagdag ko lang, that's the reason why kung wala naman kayong HIV in the workplace policy, at pwede pong tumulong ang IT and Business Process Association in the Philippines kasi gumawa po kami ng primer. Nandun po step by step kung paano gumawa ng polisiya on HIV in the workplace. You can reach out to them and you can reach out as well to us para matulungan namin kayo. Ang point ko lang dito is pwede po tayo magtulungan. Ang DOLE and Project Red Ribbon and even IBPAP to help you magkaroon ng magandang polisiya to be assured that your rights, lakihan na natin, your rights are protected.
Okay, thank you, Sir Igo. No? So with that, I would also like to acknowledge si Ma'am Tess Asicate of IBPAP. No? Siya talaga very masigasig sa paggawa ng mga programa para sa mga manggagawa. Yan. Okay, so number 10 po. What if the company's HIV/AIDS program is in dissonance with DOLE Department Order 102 Series of 2010, even yung Devon Advisory number 22 Series of 2023. Ako nasagot dito, sir. Siyempre, pagka dissonance, ibig sabihin hindi siya hindi siya in consonance. So pagka ganon, kailangan i-harmonize natin yung company policy sa issuance po ng DOLE. Otherwise, it may be interpreted by as non-compliance. Kasi yung mga issuance natin, sir, yan we take into consideration yung rights ng mga workers at pagka hindi nga siya in consonance doon sa mga programa, of course, kailangan nilang i-revise at i-adapt yung what is provided by yung hindi lang ng RA, hindi lang ng DO, even yung Devon Advisory natin. So, yun lang, sir. Siguro. Next part, number 11. Are there penalties for non-adherence with adults? Ayan, yung sa na isa-isa Sir Igo kanina, yung sa RA, di ba? Yung mga hanggang 7 years, 8 years Nag-range 6 months, 2 years, then 2 years to 5 years. May mga yan. Sabi nga ni Sir kanina, may criminal criminal offense, no? However, court yung magde-decide po doon. Pero pag sa DOLE, it will be it will be penalized according to Republic Act 11058 and its IRR DO 198. Administrative penalties naman 'yon. Iba yung sa court. Yung sa court medyo mabigat, pero yung sa DOLE mabigat din po 'yan, Kasi of course hindi lang naman yung monetary yan ang magiging issue natin. It's more of yung yung reputation din ng ating company ang titingnan diyan. Ayan.
Doc, I think yung question is non-adherence with the DO 102-10. Baka pag hindi daw adherent dun sa DOLE 102-10, may penalty ba?
Meron, sir. Pero that will be kasi itong mga mandatory occupational health program, sir, siya kay 11058 DO 198 ni DOLE. At administrative penalties yung sa amin. Pero yung mga nasa RA, yung sa Philippine AIDS Law, it's more of yung courts, sa court natin siya ipa-file para ma-penalize yung mga offender. So ganun, sir, yung yung sa amin sa DOLE. Administrative fines, penalties, pero pagdating po sa sa courts may criminal and civil liability na kailangan i-address ng mga parties na demanda.
Pero Doc, just in case yung company wala siyang HIV in the workplace policy, meron bang para sa ating mga listeners?
Yes, sir. Rin yun? Rin yan, sir. meron ka na meron ka pero hindi at par doon sa issuance si DOLE, walang policy, same yung magiging treatment ng DOLE diyan sa findings na wala siyang policy, workplace policy on HIV/AIDS. So ano yan, sir? Pero again, papasok pa rin yung willful failure na requirement na once na sabihan si employer at within yung 20-day period na nire-require ng batas, nag-comply naman sila, ano naman, sir, wala naman tayong pag-uusapan na multa doon. So basta ma-comply nila within doon sa period na correction na binigay po ni DOLE. Ayan. Okay, next po, number 12. What are the rights of employees with HIV? Yan. Nabanggit natin ni Sir Iko yan, pero for the sake ng mga siguro maganda ma-reiterate natin yan, sir, yung mga karapatan ng mga manggagawang people living with HIV. Yan.
The rights of any individual is anchored on the RA 11166. No, karapatan ng mga employees on confidentiality, on the right of the privacy is very important. Nabanggit ko na rin yan. Tapos yung karapatan ng ating mga employees to access care, that is also important. That's the reason why ang DOLE, yung labor advisory po natin ay nagsaad na ng kanilang recommendation to have extended access of care, na kailangan magkaroon na ng referral mechanism to service delivery networks, and especially doon sa mga treatment facilities. Na isaad na rin po doon yung mga leave benefits, yung paid leave benefits ng mga taong may HIV on top of the existing leave benefits na nakaangkla din sa ating mga company polisiya, collective bargaining agreement, and doon nakabase doon sa Labor Code of the Philippines. Pwede rin po tayong mag-request ng flexible work arrangement with our employers, especially lalong-lalo na kung nasa polisiya ang workplace accommodations, especially yung mga lalo na yung example yung hindi ka pwede panggabi, pwedeng i-accommodate ka sa umaga based dun sa findings or recommendation ng ating HIV doctors dahil sa iniinom mong gamot or because of your opportunistic infections, or sometimes ang tawag dito, yung rescheduling of work hours ninyo. Yun po ang binubuo ng ating labor advisory ngayon, na sana po ay maipasok na natin kaagad sa ating mga company policies. Alam ko naman po na nag-update po ang ating mga company sa ating mga policies yearly. Sana maisama na natin kaagad so that the rights of employees with HIV are protected. Pero ang pinaka-importante dyan, kasi ang tanong na yan is general, dapat ang kumpanya ang nagsasabi kung anong karapatan ng kanilang mga employees na kung sila ay may HIV. Napaka-importante ang information dissemination. Kasi some of the companies that we went to, pag tinanong namin, meron silang HIV in the workplace policy. Pag tinanong mo naman ang kanilang employee, ano yun? Yun yung point ko doon. Kailangan malaman ng empleyado ang kanilang mga karapatan, hindi lamang sa HIV, kung hindi kanilang karapatang pantao bilang empleyado ng company. Ang responsibilidad din po natin, empleyado, kasi hindi naman kayang gawin ng lahat, although that's the responsibility of the client. Itanong nyo po sa ating HR kung kayo po ay merong HIV in the workplace policy. Kagaya ng sinabi ni Doc Marco, yan po ay isang hinahanap ng DOLE. Kung sila po ay wala, then kayo po ang makipag-usap. Start the conversation. Yun po yung ending ko, di ba? So kayo po, sa inyo po manggaling, because hindi lang po tayo mag-expect na sila ang gagawa. Tayo rin po ang tumulong sa ating company to protect our rights.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Igo, sa napakagandang lecture na narinig po namin ngayong hapon. Ayan. So on behalf of around nagpa-fluctuate kasi, sir, yung natin, yung audience, pero nasa close to 200 yan. Pero after nito, ma-review pa na naman yan sa mga susunod. May mga multiplying pa yan effect, no? So on behalf of close to 200 participants. We would like to thank you for providing us ng magandang information, awareness, health education on yung paano na tayo magkaroon ng cultural change, no, sa ating pong mga respective workplaces, no. So before we end, I will give you the floor, no, para sa last words, ma-invite din sila na po sir, no, na ma-engage din po yung yung Project Red Ribbon, no, para sa kanilang mga HIV/AIDS program. Okay, thank you, Sir Iko.
Yeah, thank you.
You can have the floor.
Kagaya ng sinabi ko, ang Project Red Ribbon, together with IBPAP, ay willing po kaming tumulong sa mga kumpanya, sa corporate organizations to have an effective HIV in the workplace policy and implement your HIV in the workplace program. Sabi ko kanina na ang karamihan sa mga taong may HIV belong to the working age group. So napaka-importante we engage ourselves and our companies in addressing the HIV issue in the organization. And napaka-importante din that we normalize the conversation, and it has to start with our behavior and changing the perspective, our perspective, so that we can have the cultural change that we want by accepting and be educated, by accepting the HIV programs, open heart, open mind, because at the end of the day, we want to save lives. That's the best thing that we can do. So maraming salamat, Doc Marco, for the invitation.
Thank you, Sir Iko. No? So HIV/AIDS naman po kayang-kayang gamutin at iwasan, no? Basta sama-sama natin itong lalabanan. Thank you, Sir Iko. Before we officially close yung yung Webinar Wednesday, ay invite ko po kayo sa atin pong episode 16 sa October 18, tuberculosis in the workplace naman. At of course, episode 17, October 25, yan, yung sinasabi ni Sir Iko kanina, no? Mental health in the workplace. No? Incidentally, Mental Health Day, no? Kahapon, I think, no? October 10. At umatdong naman yan celebration, no? So maganda po na makapanood pa rin po tayo nito kasi ang naman po natin holistic yan, no? So I hope na yung more than 200 na no, participants ay makasama po natin sa mga susunod na Webinar Wednesday. Muli, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. And again, thank you, Sir Iko. Thank you din po kay Ma'am Tess, si Kate, na partner din po natin. Okay, maraming salamat at magandang hapon po sa atin pong lahat.
Thank you.
Para sa katanungan at karagdagang impormasyon, maaari po tayong tumawag sa DOLE Hotline 1349 o sumangguni sa mga DOLE Regional o Field Office na nakakasakop sa inyong lugar paggawa.